Greetings duelists and welcome to another video. As you can see here, this is average memento hand that I am working with. This is like the memento deck that I built specifically for Legacy of Destruction. There are one or two changes here in this deck list. We're going to be resetting and see if we can showcase those changes. We're going to just play with this hand. We're going to freestyle the deck, and once you see the changes, you'll see what I mean by that. So, since we don't control any memento monsters, we special summon a Tatsunoshigo. Tatsunoshigo is going to activate its effect to blow itself up from the field and just dump a memento monsters to equalize its level. So we're going to dump a 3 or a 2, or we can dump two 2s and a 1. What we're going to do is we're going to dump Gatic. And one other card that we're going to dump, because this one is not as obvious. The obvious one would be Anguish or Goblin or Mace. But the one not obvious one that we're going to be using is this one. This card is called Mementotlan Mythical Sheep, and this card reads: if a monster in your possession was destroyed by a card effect this turn, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can fusion summon one memento monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send one memento card from your deck to your graveyard, except Mythical Sheep. So we're resolving Tatsunoshigo. Tatsunoshigo being triggering the Gatic, because Gatic was sent to the graveyard by Memento effect. So we're going to special summon the Gatic. We're going to use Gatic's effect, and Gatic is going to grab us the Mythical Sheep to our hand. The Mythical Sheep is going to normal summon. We're going to activate the Sheep's effect since it was normal summoned successfully. And with the Gatic and the Memento Sheep, we're going to fusion summon into the Twin Dragon. Now, in a separate chain, we're going to activate the Twin Dragon. The Twin Dragon is going to pop itself and is going to add 2 Memento cards to our hand. We already have Mementotlan Fusion and we already have Bone back, so we're just going to grab something a little bit different. We already used our normal summon, so let's be wary of that. So that being said, we're just going to grab, most likely it's going to be Memento Goblin and Memento Mace. Now we're going to be triggering Twin Dragon's effect, and Twin Dragon's effect is going to bring something back from the graveyard, and we're probably going to be summoning Mementotlan Mythical Sheep. So now we're in this instance. We see the chip in the board, and we see these 2 monsters in our hand. We have Mementotlan Fusion. We have these 2 cards. We have the Bone back, and we have 3 mementos in graveyard. But we still haven't gotten anywhere. Like, how do we get to the Mementotlan Combined Creation? How do we get to Anguish? How do we get to like the Bone Party? How do we get to the Field Spell? Like, there's still a lot of cards that we're missing in order to just fulfill the win condition of the deck. And this is where this new fusion monster is going to come in. We're going to be summoning Mementotlan Tetuklia, the CombineConqueror. Its materials are 3 memento monsters. And remember, since we destroyed a memento this turn, which was the Tatsunoshigo, we can fuse back all the materials back into the deck. So let's go to the top, let's go to the top, let's go to the top. Let's just put all these cards here. We're going to just shuffle this, and we're going to summon this guy. So the first effect is, if this card is fusion summoned, you can send 3 memento cards from your deck and or extra deck to the graveyard. Let's do that. Let's send our Combined Creation, because we are missing the Combined Creation. We can send the Anguish as well. And let us send the Dark Blade. So now we sent 3 Memento monsters. So this already fixes one of the issues that the deck like really lacked, and that was like consistent way of getting to your Memento cards more than usual. But this still has another effect. As a quick effect, you can target Mementos you control and cards your opponent controls and destroy them. So this is an interruption, and it can be used on your opponent's turn. So really good. Now for the last effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 Mementotlan from your deck to your hand. That's also really good. What mainly that means is that this card can get you to the field spell, which gets you to like the original win condition this deck already has. Something you can do is, like, for example, we can banish the Mementotlan Fusion, pop the CombineConqueror rather, and with the Conqueror we can add Bone Party to our hand, and now we can banish the CombineConqueror, and the CombineConqueror will add us the field spell. And that's another really good thing about this deck now. Now we have more ways to get to the field spell without relying on stuff like terraforming, stuff like Gatix effect, stuff like the Mementotlan Dragon. And you're probably thinking, well, we just wasted a big fusion monster just for 2 cards. But take note, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. Like, this was a 1 card combo with just the Tatsuno Shigo. So now we're going to activate Field Spell. After activating Field Spell, we can activate Bone Party. Bone Party is going to pop the Mythical Sheep, and we're going to be summoning from the deck the Anguish, since we haven't summoned the Anguish yet. Another thing that we could have done was summon the Dark Blade, but I digress. Again, we're freestyling here. So this goes to grave, and since the Sheep got destroyed by a card effect, both the Sheep and the Mementotlan both trigger. Mementotlan is going to summon a lower level Memento from your hand or graveyard. We're just going to summon the Goblin. And the Sheep is going to trigger, and the Sheep sends a card to the graveyard. So with the Sheep, we're just going to be sending Cranium Burst. Now something we can do is we're going to activate Goblin's effect, and Goblin is going to send 2 more Mementos. And there's quite a few options. We can send back the Gatic that we were sent beforehand. We can send the Tatsuno Chigo. We can send the Fracture Dance. That is another card that we can send. We can send another Mementotlan Fusion for next turn. We're just going to send the Tatsuno Chigo for now. We already triggered Gatic's effect, so there's no way for triggering Gatic. However, we can summon the Combined Creation now by just putting 5 back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can just go to end phase, and then we can just set the Cranium Burst. So to summarize, 1 copy of Tatsuno Shigo did all of this. Granted, we did already have Mementotlan Fusion in our hand, so that really helped. But that Mementotlan Fusion could have been Bone Party. It could have been just a field spell already. It could have been like another Memento card. And that would have just facilitated the combos and the interactions. Again, this was a freestyle combo there was a 1.5 card combo that just enabled your combine creation win condition. I think the biggest issue Memento or it had like as of late was not the win condition of the deck, but how easily was to get to it. And now with the existence of combined creation, Conqueror, and the existence of the new sheep monster, this combo is just a lot easier to achieve. The win condition is a lot less taxing. It takes a lot less of your resources. And overall, I think this is just really, really good support. This is an illusion monster, and the sheep is a beast type monster. So something really cool that could be like looked into the future is combining this with like the Chimera support. Because, for example, you can fuse for Baphomet using the Mementotlan fusion. You can fuse away using Sheep and like Gatic, for example. The Baphomet can just reborn the CombineConqueror from Banished in your opponent's turn. And then that turns this into another interruption. Like the field spell just gives you more interactions as well. Like we're slowly moving into pushing the boundaries of what Memento can truly do. And this deck has a lot of combos that are just outside of the norm of its own archetype. Like this fusion spell is pretty much splashable. The only thing that it's asking for are Memento monsters as fusion material. So remember, you can summon Guardian Chimera, you can summon like the King Chimera. Like, for example, we already mentioned Baphomet. We can add that into the list in the future. We can summon like Mud Dragon with those cards. We can also summon stuff like Dragostapelia. I think it's just a matter of time until like this deck is figured out. I think Infinite Forbidden really is going to be pushing the boundaries for like all the Valiant Smasher themes. Like just the other day, Valmonica got revealed support as well. That is also really, really strong. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about Memento. If people don't already know, this is one archetype that I really like playing and like testing around with. So just seeing new support for it that's actually more than decent is very favorable for me. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you found this video informative to your liking and understanding. Keep practicing and keep dueling.